She wore her prettiest dress. She tied her hair with a pink ribbon like Dad used to. But as the candles flickered on her 8th birthday cake, her tiny voice whispered something no one expected. I wish Dad could see me now. That one wish changed everything. Before we begin this heartbreaking yet heartwarming journey, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Kindness Stories. Your support helps us bring more true-to-life, emotional stories that touch your heart. 8-year-old Lily sat at the far end of a nearly empty park cafe. She wore her favorite pink dress with tiny white polka dots and a faded picture of Elsa on the chest. Her shoes were clean, but too small. Her braids were neat, but her eyes were tired. The cake in front of her had just a small candle flickering gently in the breeze. The waitress had set it down with a kind smile, but no one else came. No friends, no party hats, no Dad. Lily's mom, Grace, worked double shifts and had barely made it on time. She still wore her fast food uniform and smelled of fries. She sat across Lily trying to smile, but her exhaustion showed in the shadows under her eyes. She took out her phone to snap a picture of her daughter, hoping to make it special. But Lily looked down at her hands and whispered, I wish Dad could see me now. Grace froze. That name hadn't been spoken in months. Lily's dad, Jake, had been deployed overseas when Lily was only 5. He never came back. The military funeral was quiet and respectful, with folded flags and tearful officers. Grace had hidden most of it from Lily, saying Daddy was a hero in heaven now. But as Lily grew older, questions began to replace innocence. Her classmates had dads who picked them up from school. Her neighbors had dads who helped them ride bikes. Lily had only stories, and one blurry photo worn at the edges of her dad in uniform holding her as a baby. That birthday evening, a man seated 2 tables away had noticed the little girl's words. His name was Thomas, a single father himself, there with his teenage son. His heart clenched hearing her wish. It was the exact same thing his son had said when Thomas missed his 6th birthday after a car accident had him hospitalized. When Lily got up to go to the bathroom, Thomas gently approached Grace. Ma'am, I couldn't help but overhear, is her father? Grace gave a tight nod, not trusting herself to speak. Thomas nodded respectfully. Would you mind if I bought her a balloon? I know I'm a stranger, but I just feel like she deserves something extra. Grace's eyes welled up with tears. She's never had a birthday party since he died, and I couldn't afford much this year. Even this cake, it was free from the bakery I clean. Thomas quietly slipped outside and returned minutes later, holding not just a balloon, but a small stuffed bear with happy birthday written on its belly. He handed it to Lily when she returned to the table. She stared at the stranger, wide-eyed. For me, he knelt beside her chair. For the bravest birthday girl I've seen all day. Lily clutched the bear like treasure. You're not my dad, she said innocently, but I think he would have liked you. That line broke something in Thomas. He smiled, patted her hand, and went back to his table, but his thoughts stayed with her. He asked the waitress about them and found out Grace was a regular, always coming in late after shifts, always tired, always alone. Over the next few weeks, Thomas started dropping by the cafe more often. At first just to say hello, then slowly with a small gift for Lily, a drawing pad, a packet of glitter pens, a tiny snow globe. Grace was hesitant, but her heart softened seeing how Lily bloomed in Thomas's presence. They talked about stars, about trains, about what dreams little girls had when their dads were in heaven. One evening, as Thomas walked them to the bus stop, Lily turned to him and asked, Do you think Dad sees me now? Thomas bent down and looked into her eyes. I think he never stopped. That night, Grace sat awake in bed. She looked at the dusty photo frame on her nightstand, the one with Jake's photo. She whispered, You said if anything ever happened to you, someone would look out for us. Maybe you sent him. Spring came early that year. For the first time in a long while, Grace had started smiling more. Lily was happier too. Her drawings were brighter, no longer filled with dark clouds or empty chairs. She now drew 3 people holding hands. One day at the cafe, Thomas offered to drive them home. Their apartment was small, worn out, but clean and warm. Lily proudly showed Thomas her room with stickers on the walls and drawings pinned up. In one corner stood her most prized possession, the bear from her birthday. This bear sleeps next to me, so Dad knows I'm safe, she said. Thomas's voice caught. That's a very smart idea. After that night, Thomas became more than a friend. He helped Grace fix a broken kitchen pipe. He picked up groceries on days she worked late. He helped Lily with school projects. But he never crossed the line. He never tried to replace Jake. He was simply there. Then came Memorial Day. The local school was holding a remembrance program. Grace was hesitant, but Lily asked, "Can I go? I want to talk about my dad." Thomas drove them there. In front of the class, Lily stood with her photo of Jake and said, "My dad was a hero. He couldn't come back, but I think he sent someone to help me grow strong, and I hope other kids get someone like that too." Tears streamed down Grace's face. Even Thomas had to turn away. Months passed. Summer turned to fall. Thomas asked Grace out on a proper dinner. No kids, just adults. They laughed, talked about life, shared stories of loss and hope. By the time Christmas came around, Thomas had become family. Then came Lily's 9th birthday. This time, there was a park full of balloons. There were cupcakes and lemonade. Her classmates were there. Her mom wore a bright blue dress. Thomas stood beside her holding a cake shaped like a unicorn. When it was time to make a wish, everyone leaned in. Lily closed her eyes, smiled, and said, "I think he can see me now." The crowd cheered, but Thomas felt the weight of that moment deeper than anyone else. That night, after the party ended, Lily tugged on his hand. "Do you think maybe someday you can be my dad too?" Thomas knelt down and hugged her tight. "Only if you'd like me to." Grace stood watching, her hands to her lips, tears falling freely. And in the silent warmth of that moment, Jake's photo sat beside the birthday cake, watching. Thank you for watching this beautiful journey of love, loss, and second chances. If this story moved you, please like the video and subscribe to Junior Storyland for more tales that remind us kindness can heal hearts one act at a time.